Could you join me with the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, public comment. Anyone signed up? Okay, no one signed up here. Is there anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Okay. Hearing none, we will move to number 2, consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Move to approve consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. We have no payroll change notices, correct? Correct.
Yeah.
Number 4, minutes and or amended minutes of previous meeting.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made to approve. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Requisitions, purchase orders, and invoices. Laura.
I do have one correction, work order number 35933 for Randy and Dean. It should have been only $144.80, not what was originally listed on there for $1,448.48. So it took our total down. Our new total is 265,197.55.
Move to approve is corrected by county administrator.
Motion's been made to approve with the correction as stated by the county administrator. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 6, exoneration corrective tickets, joint property applications as shown on A and B.
Move to approve A and B.
Motion's been made to approve number 6, A and B. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 7, consideration of approval of Project Fund Requisition for Charles Pointe Economic Development District, Series 2015, A and B, and 2008A. Charles Point number 2, North Land Bay. A, B.
Move to approve requisitions for payment 7A, 7B.
Okay, motion has been made to approve set number 7, A and B requisitions as printed. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 8, we do not have any, is that correct? Correct. Okay, that is requisitions for across the street. I believe, and is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 9, review, discuss monthly minutes, financial information from various boards and committees and public service districts. It's a pleasure.
Move to approve.
Motion's been made to approve number 9. All in favor, signify A and B.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, review, discuss, consider recommendation and or information from the bid on rail trail project management from the advisory board comprised of Laura Pease, Charlotte Schaefer, and Danny Hamburg.
We met yesterday to go over and discuss different questions, comments, concerns that we may have had. Our recommendation for this bid is to accept it and to move forward with Thrasher being our rail trail project management team.
I see a copy of the score sheet and the notes.
We did not take notes.
Did you score the?
We went through, since we only had one bid, we went through and talked about each individual, but we did not write it down on a piece of paper and score them. There was only one bid for this project.
Requirements were that they each be scored.
The RFP does have scoring criteria, and within it, we have only received one bid in response to the public posting of the proposal.
They scored them 0. They scored them up 50.
Is there a problem with moving forward because there was only one?
That, from where I sit, there's not a problem with moving forward because there is only one bidder. In terms of scoring, the scoring would really be, it comes back to what we talked about before in terms of sole source procurement. I mean, they're the only responsive bidder. It went out to the public. It was posted. It's a very detailed RFP. I haven't scanned the proposal in detail because I wasn't tasked with that assignment, but it seemed like a fairly lengthy, detailed proposal. And I think we certainly can accept it. Up to you all.
I just, what are we accepting? What are we hiring?
We are hiring them to be our management team for the rail trail project, and that any way we want to take the direction of the rail trail, to use their expertise to help us achieve that goal. At the back of their bid, they even broke it down to the different prices of what everything will cost us by using their service.
Is that in that package with the target?
Yes,
We only have one.
correct.
I guess, Trey, my only concern is 1, 2, 3 times this commission voted not to hire in the last 4 months.
The commission voted not to hire an engineer of record for the daily affairs of the commission. A motion was, I've reviewed the audio.
Well, I got other dates. Rail trail maintenance be coordinated. Pre-cost move to approve. But it was approved to ask for engineer of record 3 times. And I'm just curious what changed and how that affected. But we only got one bid or one inquiry. So I would just like to note that this commission right here voted 3 times not to hire an engineer of record or an engineer of maintenance. And the only time it was ever discussed to hire an engineer, they automatically hired Brad 25. So I don't have much faith in what went on here when this commission has voted continuously not to hire an engineer, and now all of a sudden we're hiring one. That's all I have to say.
What's the pleasure of number 10?
Motion to move forward and approve.
Motion has been made to move forward and approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
We got it.
Review, discuss, consider donation of dump truck.
Point. What was that? you just said? I'd like to know what the
Excuse me, I'm
tree
moving
cost
on
is
with
said
the
to
agenda.
Mr.
Review, discuss, consider donation of dump truck. Last 6
That was
of
wrong.
then is
That was out of order.
104479, and ambulance last 6 of then, you're currently out of order. Then is H57521.
I'm gonna say there's something going on between Grasher and Commissioner
Okay, we
Treecroft
are
after that
not
statement.
talking
No,
about
we're
that.
respect- no, he
Point
just
of
made a-
order, point of
No,
order,
he just made
Mr.
a
Hinkle.
comment to the person that just got the bid. And I
Okay,
wanna
what's
know
the
what was
pleasure on
said and
number
what was
11?
the reason for that comment.
What's the pleasure on number?
Right.
Do you have anything to tell us on number 11?
I do, there are pictures associated, Johnny, I'm not sure if you could pull them up or not, but the town of Nutter Fort would actually like these two items. The ambulance, which has been sitting for OEM use, has not been utilized. It's been nothing but a storage facility, it seems like. But they would like to use it for their swiftwater rescue team. And then that dump truck, there were previous discussions that they'd be able to use that to collect garbage. And since both of those vehicles are just sitting there and we're paying insurance on them but not utilizing them, I recommend that we donate them to the town of Nutter Fort.
He donated the ambulance to the county.
I would imagine Harrison County EMS.
So they have a reason they donated it to us, and did we fulfill that obligation when they donated it to us?
I looked for paperwork, but it was so long ago.
Paul,
that
can you
Did you check
advise
with
us, please?
Mr. Rock?
Yeah, I'm not real sure that it was ever consummated into the county's hands. That was in a transition of some office staff here. I would think we probably ought to run the VIN and see who actually still holds title to it before you guys make a final decision. I just heard about this yesterday myself. I haven't had the opportunity to do that, but that might maybe behoove us to do that first. And then make sure that that's actually something you've got clear title to. before
And
we do
it
that.
was donated to this county to be used as a command center.
It was command vehicle type thing to house all of our extraneous communications equipment. Not necessarily a sit in there and run the place, but have all the gear available to help a command system run. There was an electrical problem with the vehicle we never were able to get corrected, and that's why it's kind of
It's been
not
sitting
made it
there for a while.
right.
Hey, Paul, would it be good for the divers? That's what they want it for. They can have.
If they could get it fixed, and again, I'm not sure it's ours to give away.
If it's not ours, why give it back to whoever it belongs to? And see if they'll be willing to give it to the Nutter Fort so that the dive team doesn't have to.
And again, there is some kind of electrical issue with that vehicle. We need to make them aware of that. It can't sit for a day and a half without the batteries going dead.
Okay.
And the garage is never able to track that down.
Because we've had this vehicle for how long now?
It's been 5 or 6 years anyway.
Yeah, they want it for dive. I guess we have to have a unit from out of the area come in for dive team.
Nutter Fort and Bridgeport both run significant dive calls throughout the state.
Okay.
So you will follow up on the VIN.
I'll check that and let you know, and we'll go from there.
So we'll go ahead and, so we can go ahead and approve the dump truck. We'll go ahead and approve the dump truck. And we'll wait, hold on from the box truck for the dive team.
Is that your motion?
Mhm.
Okay, the motion's been made to go ahead and approve the donation of the dump truck only. And we will wait on the ambulance until we make sure that we have ownership of it. Fair enough? Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Are you expecting anybody else paying? Yeah. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and present the proclamation. That's 10:14, but
You ready, girl?
I don't know.
okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. You got your note upside down, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Okay, whereas in 2021, as estimated, 281,550 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer and approximately 1,890 women will die of the disease. And whereas in 2021, there are expected to be approximately 2,650 cases of breast cancer in men. And whereas a woman has about a 1 in 8 chance, which is 12%, of developing breast cancer in her lifetime, and approximately 1 in 883 in a man's lifetime. And whereas currently the best method to reduce deaths due to breast cancer is through early detection of the disease. And whereas women age 40 and older should have a mammogram every year. And whereas women ages 30 to 39 should talk with their healthcare provider about their screening schedule. And whereas clinical breast exams by a physician or nurse are recommended every 3 years for women in their 20s and 30s, and every year for women 40 and over. And whereas breast self-exams is an option for women starting in their 20s, whereas women and men should be told the benefit and limitations of breast self-exam. And whereas clinical breast exams, breast self-exams, and mammograms can save lives, and women and men should talk to their healthcare provider about their individual screening schedule. And now therefore be it resolved, be it now proclaimed, the Harrison County Commission does hereby proclaim October 2021 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We urge all Harrison County women and men to become aware that they are at risk for developing breast cancer and to discuss screening with their healthcare providers. Passed by the County Commission of Harrison County, West Virginia, this 13th day of October 2021. Laura, you want to introduce this lady next to me?
I do, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor and a privilege to introduce to you one of the first nurse navigators in the state of West Virginia. Peggy Johnson is so humbled that she asked that I not talk about her, but rather about breast cancer survivorship. So I'm not going to exactly follow her recommendation entirely. Sorry. For 9 years, Peggy is a lifelong resident of our region. She served in the role as a navigator for breast health at the Cecil B. Highland Jr. and the Barbara B. Highland Cancer Center at United Hospital Center. This 25-year veteran of nursing says that she wants her breast cancer patients and you to know that in addition to being a nurse navigator, she's also a daughter, a wife, a mother, and she's been through this journey as a breast cancer survivor herself. Peggy, we are honored that you have and that you continue to make such an impact on those you touch in Harrison County and beyond. You have certainly improved the lives of thousands. We appreciate you, your mission to save lives. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Peggy Johnson.
I can't add a whole lot to all of that. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me. The one positive spin I can put on this that wasn't mentioned is this year alone, we're looking at probably 3.8 million breast cancer survivors. So that alone is amazing. And thank you for breast cancer awareness and for this proclamation to make it so. Thank you.
And number 12, review, discuss, consider City Construction Company Inc. bid for courthouse windows.
Would you like to discuss?
Sure. Back in May, you all are aware, we advertised for bids for the project of replacing the half windows where the air conditioners are in the courthouse. At the time, we only received the one bid. Originally, that bid was not accepted due to some exclusions that they had on there. I worked with the maintenance department as far as trying to get specs, and he told me that there really aren't any specs, that there's nothing that they can do as far as going specs for a bid. But if we did bid it out, we probably wouldn't get another bid from City Window. Well, after that, couldn't really get a whole lot of activity on it. So since Cameron has been in the maintenance position, he has spoke several times with City Window. They are willing to take care of some of the exclusions, and I will let him speak to you about that as well, but, you know, they're still willing to do the project. My concern is if we wait too long, this money is only good until the end of the year, and I don't want to lose $56,000, and I would like to move on with the project. And Danny spoke with Mr. Henderson.
Yeah, Ron Henderson, he's the one that did the project. As far as the exclusions go, he said that everything he put on there is basic for their bidding process. But he would be glad to answer any specific questions if anybody had them. Also, I spoke to him yesterday. I saw that this was on the agenda. And as far as the price goes, he said right now that's firm, but last prices are changing daily. So he could guarantee that 2 weeks from now will still be there.
The bid came in at 49.4, and the project total cost could be up to 70,000. That's because of 56,000 grant and then our 20% match. So we've got plenty to cover any additional monies that may be just needed to be added.
I just want to make sure that we can do this under the grant, you know, qualifications. Move forward. I mean, what were the, for lack of a better term, issues?
Well, the main issue is there was a few exclusions. One of them, not responsible to correct out of square or out of level openings. We had the pre-bid, a mandatory pre-bid meeting for anybody that was interested in bidding on the project to come in, look at the windows, measure, do what they needed to do. City Window originally put those windows in. So again, this is something that they just automatically, you know, put on all their bids. They don't foresee any problems or issues with it, but that was one of the things at the time. And then the permits, you know, we'll do whatever we need to do, and they will too, you know, as far as getting permits to be able to come in and do that work. So other than that, it's just, you know, dumpster abatement, just minor things. The lintel masonry repairs, there was only 2 windows that needed that kind of repair, and that was included with the bid.
This is just to replace the part of the air conditioner.
This is,
that
yes, the
correct?
windows that's in the, I think there's like 44 of them, if I remember correctly. It's just to replace those half windows and take those air conditioners out for the full window pane.
It's pleasant.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Review, discuss, consider second amendment to tower. I looked up and said, enter Paul. 10 ground space lease for Shinston.
Attention. We've been working on, 2 of our towers need some fairly significant repairs to bring them into spec and safety measures. Working with the tenants on those, trying to get some, you know, how to do it, when to do it, how to pay for it, kind of thing. Right now on the Shinston one, we're sitting with USA, we're taking the lead. It's approximately $81,000 for the repairs. And the offer on the table right now is to split with them the costs of the repairs. They would outright pay for 40-some thousand of it. The rest of that, they would pay for it initially and then recoup through rent abatement over the next 4 years by cutting the rent payments in half. I think Trey's got a couple things we need to discuss on the amendment yet, and I'll let him take it from there. I think we're going to need 1 more week for he and I to talk it out, but I'll let him tell me what I need to do.
Yeah, sure. My concern and I really need the tower and ground space lease as well as the First Amendment to look at it, is that they're changing from a tenant to really a contract manager. When they do that, there are certain risks involved, specifically, pardon me, subcontractor related risks. We wanted to make sure that they were using qualified subcontractors who had sufficient insurance. We wanted to make sure that there were no mechanics liens on the property as well. And we really wanted to make sure their subs, as I started with, meet our insurance requirements or mandates. Also, in reviewing the exhibits to the Shinston Tower lease, it did look like US Cellular was putting on some additional antennas, which are not currently out there. Typically in these types of negotiations, those are additional revenue sources for the cell provider. So I wanted to speak with Paul about the compensation and the model. But again, I need to look at the underlying agreements to really understand what's going on.
So we probably should table this
For a week, yeah, it's not something that's gonna take very long.
I hear a motion to table for a week.
Motion to table for approval.
Talk about that real quick.
So next week.
Does he have something else he needs to say before we?
You can go ahead with this motion for the Shinston lease, and then he'd like to make a comment about the Salem Tower as well.
Okay.
So you want to move forward with shit, so-
Like I
No.
said,
Table it.
Table, motion to move forward with table.
Okay.
So the motion's been made to table number 13 until next week for further information. And legal. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Just a real quick, for your information kind of thing, working on very much the same kind of thing at Salem, only this time I've got Trey in on the ground floor, so hopefully it'll go a little bit smoother. AT&T is taking the lead on that one. And we're trying to get something very similar done to where they can come in with their expertise, get everything corrected, and we've shared the burden.
Bottom line is, Paul, there's nothing out of pocket for us.
Nothing out of pocket for us. That, all these agreements are
As long as there's no liability.
right, and that's very critical. Insurance is important. All of those sites have many millions of dollars worth of equipment in those buildings. So, yeah, that is a very important.
And it's really high risk work, repair work.
Yeah.
That's where the concern really comes from on my end.
Not doing it is not an option. Morgantown, Mon County had to destroy a tower because it didn't need the attention it needed in due time.
We don't need-
Through no fault of anybody's except for nobody saw it.
Anything else?
Go ahead.
Hearing none, we will move on to number 14. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, guys.
Review, discuss, consider commission letter of support for USEDA.
Amy Wilson reached out to us to see if we would be willing to write a letter of support on behalf of the Harrison County Commission for the USEDA for the big data analytics project for expansion, the weather and the climate technology in West Virginia. This letter would be going to the U.S. Department of Commerce and just showing that we are willing to support this project. And we think it's a good idea for our area.
Any discussion?
Nope. Motion approved.
Motion's been made to approve. Any discussion?
Amend the motion that the president signs the letter.
Okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Motion to amend and add that the president signs the letter. The only thing I want to change is it is our pleasure and therefore we are, in the last sentence, that way it's the commission. It's not, I think it makes more. If I'm signing on behalf of the commission, I think it should be on behalf of the commission. Anybody have an issue with that?
Then if we're gonna go into plural, then I think Trey would not have us sign it. But at this point, it's her pleasure to support on behalf of the commission. She's signing it.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean, I don't care if all three sign. That's fine.
No, I'm fine with the letter the way it is.
Okay, then we'll just leave it that way.
Yeah, I'm fine with it either way. I mean, you all,
Okay.
there's a motion.
Yeah,
So,
Okay.
that's all right. I just,
Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Administrators report number 15.
Over the weekend, 2 email servers died, affecting our email. Internally, we didn't notice a difference, but externally, individuals were getting bounce back emails. Those, I believe, are all corrected, and our email should be working properly. Met with Starlin Danny for the Thrasher proposal for the railroad trail. You got that recommendation this afternoon. Working on getting input for the litter control officer. That's a project that still need to gather more background information so we can see which direction we want to go. Working on getting a digital copy of the Harrison County seal for the architects for the GSA building. So if someone happens to have a contact that have the digital seal, or we can blow it up and it won't be so pixelated, I would appreciate it. We had the light up Port Street on Thursday supporting the event. The commission was instrumental in getting those lights up. I believe that Tina still has a few tickets available if anyone is interested. I believe that is it.
16 commissioners' comments. Mr. Treecott.
Just on the litter control officer, Laura, move forward. If we have to change some of the, we have to amend anything, I'm 100% for it.
I have some questions that I want.
No, I think it's a great thing. I think it'll help us in our push to clean up the county and make an initiative to do so. And then the other thing is whenever you and Chad think it's time, let's schedule a work session and let's talk about what direction we want to go with the rail trail, so we're all on the same page and move forward with the completion of, Enterprise to Salem. That's all I have, Madam President.
Mr. Hinkle.
I'd like to request an emergency meeting either tomorrow or Friday morning to discuss legal and real estate issues. And Trey is aware of the issue.
Are you available tomorrow, Friday for a special?
No, it's up to you guys.
I'm not, well, tomorrow afternoon we have touchers meeting, so in the morning.
I can't do tomorrow morning, sorry, I committed to Mon County. It's 2 o'clock.
Friday. Well, we could do it after.
Can we do it now?
Can we do it now?
Now, we're gonna have to put a notice out there. What about Friday morning? Early,
8 a.m.
that's fine. That's fine.
I guess we'll have a special meeting Friday at 8 a.m. concerning legal and real estate issues.
Emergency.
Meeting. You'll get the notice out, agenda. And we'll just be there. Anything else? I have nothing.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.